Is it an advantage when your director is an actor like Ritesh?
Of course it is.
Yes, it is.
Because I think he knows what he wants. He can see it in your eyes when you're performing. And I think
Now when you're on a set, what do you like about today's sets?
one, that we get the script in hand, so we
Yeah.
are very well prepared. At that time, lines would be written.
Literally there,
Yeah, like set हो गया, अच्छा lighting वाइटिंग हो गई, अच्छा सुनो ना ये लाइन
ये
बोल दो.
line बोल.
I'm like
आपको तभी कुछ भी अंदाजा था कि क्या कल्ट फिल्म आप लोग बना रहे हो?
बस मुझे ये खुशी थी कि I was enjoying a new craft,
हाँ.
and somewhere during the making of मैंने प्यार किया, I think I fell in love with this craft because before that I had no intention.
Today when your film releases, do you stress? आपको Thursday को टेंशन होता है कि कल रिलीज है?
No, I think if you believe what you've done and believe that you've put in your 100%, then you're happy with the result.
Right.
Hi, I'm Bhagyashree and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
Bhagyashree, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Right. I'm giving you this option that I have watched your film. So should I start with Shivaji and then go back to your earlier film? Or should I start with your career, which I have so many questions? What do you prefer?
Well, I think most of them know everything about Maine Pyar Kiya. So let's get to what has just happened.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I saw Shivaji, and only after I watch it, I understand why Ritesh took you in the film and why this casting worked out. You take me back and tell me how he approached you. What did you ask him? What did he ask you?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for saying that yes, this is an ideal casting.
Yeah.
For me, I think this was something that nobody could refuse. To be able to play a woman that is part of such a powerful history for Maharashtra, for India.
Bilkul.
One of the women that have actually mooted the idea of Swaraj, of independence,
Bilkul.
seen it through, and being a Maharashtrian myself, being from this culture, we've all grown up hearing stories of Raja Shivaji, and there's a deep-rooted connection which goes down generations, and we always feel that this is where our roots begin from. So to be part of a legacy like this is, I think, I just feel humbled that I got the opportunity to play that.
Right. I can imagine because, your family is also well known from Maharashtra. I'm also married to a Maharashtrian, and even there, in their house, abhi bhi Shivaji Maharaj ke darbar ki photo hai. And they literally, and I got to know so much after I became a part of that family. You tell us, what role did this character, these stories played when you were younger?
We've always heard of stories of his bravery, of his valor. But what Raja Shivaji, the film, did was touch upon the man that Shivaji Raje was. How he was as a child, how he was as a brother, how he was as a husband, the emotions that have been left out of many a stories.
Right.
As children and as history is being taught to us, we hear only about the battlefront.
Yeah, correct. Always,
But connecting the world and this legacy of his to the emotions behind this, that is what it mattered the most. Okay? The life teaches us of certain things that we must do. We must remember to inculcate in our own lives and live our lives accordingly.
Right.
Similarly, I think what Raja Shivaji did was bring the idea of patriotism and unite everyone together to fight against someone who is against our country.
Yeah.
Today, when we look upon Indians which are segregated into different states. I think this man's valor, bravery, and the feeling of unity and freedom
Right.
but with togetherness.
Yeah.
How he got everyone under this one flag to
Yeah.
fight against the Mughals. That's what matters.
It's so true.
So
yeah.
that's a feeling that I feel needs to be rejuvenated,
Right.
reinculcated into us, into our children.
Correct.
And I'm so happy that Ritesh managed to do this in his film.
Right.
You know, something that he's carried for like 10 years.
Right.
It was a dream for
Yeah,
him
true,
that he
true.
wanted to do.
True. You know, Ritesh is a good guy. Ritesh Jinlia are good people. They, you can make out इनका intention सही है बनाने का. What was your initial conversation with you?
Well, Ritesh just called me up and said, do you have half an hour to spare? I want to come home and have coffee with you. And I said, yeah, sure. So he entered and he said, I'm making this film on Raja Shivaji. And I said, it's yes, for whatever you're saying. So
Shuru bhai.
there was no question of what is my role,
Wow,
what
correct,
are you
huh.
doing, why have you come.
No.
It was just that. I said, it's yes for whatever you're saying.
Oh, nice, amazing.
So I think his intention and everyone who's part of this film right now would feel the same.
Right. That's true. Again, and then when it comes to filmmaking, intent is one thing. On-ground shooting, making that film is another story only. When you go on a set, does Ritesh give you a sense that he has everything in control? That he's a fun actor. I've seen him do fun roles more in life, but he's taking this huge responsibility of Shivaji Maharaj ki story. So did you get the sense that he will do it?
See, the director is the captain of the ship.
Bilkul.
And if the captain is confident, the ship sails through even the stormiest sea and reaches the ground.
True.
So I think that's what this film has done. As any set, there would be problems. We had the rains coming in.
He was telling me,
the set once collapsed. So we had those issues, no doubt. But Ritesh, his demeanor is so calm, so steadfast, and so precise. You know, he knows he's got everything planned. So when he is, telling you a scene, or he is even, explaining to the others how to do it or what he wants, it's crystal clear.
Yeah.
And that's so apparent,
that's nice,
for someone who's been living with that dream for last 10 years.
Yeah.
It just has to be clear in their mind.
Correct. I saw the Hindi version, but I would recommend, if you understand Marathi, please watch Marathi. I will definitely go again and watch the Marathi version. But you all shot this in Marathi only, right?
Yes, and I second what you're saying, because Marathi mein jo atma hai na, each word, the way the dialogues are written, whatever is said with that gravitas.
Correct, yeah.
The same thing when you translate the literal meaning into Hindi, it doesn't
that
fall.
emotion
Yes.
can come, yeah.
Had it been written in Hindi, then it would be done differently.
Correct.
But I think, yes, the Marathi version is something that hits the chord to another level.
Right. You play this character with such power, because she was powerful, with such confidence when she's talking. She's such a brave person. What will you like to inculcate from this character that you play? It's so beautiful, and what a legend, what a story. Because हम तो picture देख के निकल गए. This will stay with you for much longer.
See, we've grown up with their stories, like I told you before. The most important part was that she didn't raise a son. She rose a revolution.
Yeah.
She inculcated those values, that feeling into her children, where they have to stand up for what is right. They have to respect everyone around them, and especially women. Feminism was there even at that time. The protection of women and equal rights to women was something that was inculcated at that time. So today, when things go wrong, these are instances, these are examples from our history that hold true even today. That we should look up to them and take count of the things that they have done to change the society in
Yeah.
general to make it safer, especially for the women and children.
100%. Yeah.
The recent case that has happened right now
Yes.
in Pune, it
Yeah.
sends absolutely
Disturbing.
shudders down my
Yeah.
spine.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and that's when they say, na, when Maharaj said, कि anyone who dares lay a hand on a woman,
Yeah.
उसका चौरंग बिठाना
Yeah,
चाहिए.
yeah, yeah.
So the idea is that no one should get away with crimes like that. It should, the justice should be provided in such a way that it's a deterrent.
It's an example.
Yes. That no one should dare to even think of
it. Right.
committing a crime like
Right.
that.
But our laws are not like that. Our laws take time. And
I
our
know,
systems-
but I hope
Yeah.
that this is a wake-up call.
Correct,
I
correct.
just
Yeah,
hope so.
Yeah. Like if you hurt any animal in India anywhere, our law is like give 50 rupees, you'll be fined. And these are the kind of archaic laws which need to be changed.
True.
Right. Yeah. So what is the quality that you would like? Because they were so modern in their thinking. Actually, तो सच में सबसे modern यही लोग थे. You know.
Yes, because the women were taught warfare, the
Yeah.
women were taught politics right from their childhood.
Yeah.
They were brought up with the same value system as the
Yeah.
men. So they knew it. When the men would go to fight wars,
Right.
they would be handling the political structure within their
Ji, ji.
state or their ruling area.
Yeah.
So they had that power, they knew how to command. This is all missing now.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
this is again something that I would take back from this wonderful, strong woman character in history. That this is what we need to relearn, not only for ourselves. This is what we need to teach our children.
So true. You know, do you also notice the earlier we go, the more modern minded they were? I do remember, because you said it in an interview, that your mother-in-law's father was actually so modern, and he said that you should be wearing a gown or whatever. That's
That's just an example.
Correct, but I'm saying they were so
that
modern.
They were ready to change with the times. They were
Yeah.
ready to adapt. I mean, what you wear is just a small example, but his mindset was such that he was willing to change with the changing times.
Yeah.
He was willing to hear out what the young people have to say. They don't make people like that
They don't make
anymore,
people,
right?
yeah.
I mean, no matter how modern we think we are,
Yeah.
we still end up getting judgmental about people wearing or doing certain things.
Yeah.
So I think that mindset needs to change.
Right. You know, now when you're on a set, what do you like about today's sets?
One, that we get the script in hand, so we
Yeah.
are very well prepared. At that time, lines would be written.
Literally there, yeah.
Yeah, like set हो गया, अच्छा lighting वाइटिंग हो गई, अच्छा सुनो ना ये line बोल
ये
दो.
line बोल.
I'm like,
Wow.
so yeah, that's the good part about.
Yeah, you get a full bound script.
Yes.
Right. And a lot other things have changed. There's Instagram, there's social media. Where is Bhagyashree in all this? Do you enjoy it? Have you accepted that this is a part of my job and I have to play
It's
this?
a tool. It's a marketing tool. It's a tool for connectivity with your audience or your fans. That's the way you connect. You talk to them. You share things which you wish to share. The point is that this can also disrupt your life.
Yeah.
A film that I did last year was called Sajni Shinde Ka
Yes.
Viral Video.
And
that film actually showed
I
the
really
ill
like that.
effects of what social media can do.
Yeah.
That one single post could
post.
create havoc in that girl's life.
Yeah, true.
So it depends on how much you let all this affect you and how much people are willing to make sure that they drown another person, which is so sad in today's times.
Yeah. True. It
You don't realize the power of your voices or your words or the way you troll people on social media, and you never know what that other person is going through.
Right. Yeah.
And you need to be walking in that person's shoes to really understand.
Yeah.
And it's sad when people think that way.
But a generation is making it their life. You see everybody just tuk, 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 just doing
Unfortunately, unfortunately, when you meet people, they ask you, how are you? And they don't even look into your eyes. So
Right. No, and the most annoying is when I'm going for watch a film and everybody's mobile lights are on here. I'm like, this is really annoying to watch a film like
True.
that. You mentioned Sajni Shinde. I really like that movie. I went, remember, first day, first show to watch that at here Le Reb only.
Really?
Yeah. And I know, I told the director, I really liked what he wanted to say. The teachers, the way they, also teachers ka bhi alag side dikhaya. There's a different kind of, so it was very interesting. What makes you, we keep seeing you on and off in different films. What is that? What are the things that you say yes
I'm going to do a reverse one. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question. You saw me in Sajni Shinde ka viral video, and then you saw me as Jijao in Raja Shivaji.
Yeah.
What difference did you feel in both the characters?
Oh my God, that's tough. But the thing is, I will say, no, you became this character, you became that character. I see completely two different people actually. I didn't see.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't see. Yeah, that's the thing. I think.
Or maybe I was fishing for compliments. Yeah.
No, but that's why these roles also come to you and you do them so well. But yeah, coming back to what do you say? What does it take for Bhagyashree to say, okay, I will do this film? Because बहुत लोग आपके पास अगर आना भी चाहते हैं, what are the few things that they should remember that come to me for this and don't come to me for this?
I think story or script is the king. And the director has to have conviction in what he is making.
Right.
So these two come before the production, before the monies, before where you're shooting, before your co-artists, before everything else. I think this makes sense. Because if that is solid, the rest of the things tend to fall in place. When you, like even Raja Shivaji, for instance, Ritesh carried this film for 10 years. But his intention was right. So when it happened right.
Right, it happened right, yeah. It had to happen.
Yes. And I feel that when you have the story which has got strength and conviction from the captain of the ship, and with the team members that are looking towards that, if I'm looking at a script and I like the script, then when I'm performing, I'm doing it with conviction, not because someone's telling me to mouth certain lines.
Correct.
I'm doing it because I can bring something to the table. I'm thinking of how I'm going to play this character. I'm going to add to the film.
Right.
So I think that is very important, rather than saying, oh, I'm working with so and so, that's why I'm going on set. It's very frivolous.
That's frivolous, right. But पहले ऐसा नहीं होता. पहले तो लोग फिल्म कर लेते थे क्योंकि बस जान पहचान है, ये मेरा दोस्त है, ये है. पहले have you also?
पर वैसी फिल्में चलती है? बताइए.
बिल्कुल नहीं. Everybody learned the hard way. Yeah,
see, exactly. Yeah. I feel that films which have that consistency, that depth, that gravitas. I would say even comedy films, not just films that gravitas, but something with conviction. You know why you're making a film.
Yeah, true.
And I think that works.
Yeah, what you said is right. Do you know why you're making the intent क्या है आपका बनाने का? खाली क्योंकि आप जानते हो ये film actor को तो आप बना रहे हो, that shows.
See, projects rarely work. They'll get you the numbers. You can look at the numbers, feel happy, and then it's lost in time.
Yeah, true. Is it an advantage when your director is an actor like Ritesh?
Of course it is. Because I think he knows what he wants. He can see it in your eyes when you're performing. And I think silence sometimes is golden. Where you don't have to talk much. No major dialogues have to be said. And yet just emotions can be conveyed through your eyes or a look. The actor in a director will be able to take that out from you.
That's so true. That is a big advantage.
Yes. So you don't have to have these long verbose lines or dialogues to convey what you want to.
Right. True. Today when your film releases, do you stress? आपको Thursday को टेंशन होता है कि कल रिलीज है, नींद आती है कि सुबह क्या होगा?
No, I think if you believe in what you have done, again coming back to believe what you have done and believe that you've put in your 100%, then you're happy with the result.
Right.
Because it's the process of filmmaking that really makes you happy, not the audience doesn't know your hard work. The audience doesn't know the long hours that are spent to make a certain film.
Right.
So the audience is going to give that judgment, not only what they see in theatre, with what background they are coming. कोई बीवी के साथ झगड़ा करके फिल्म देखने आया तो he is going to say यार बकवास फिल्म थी, कॉमेडी थी नहीं.
That's true.
So you know, all those things matter. So no, they don't stress me out.
Right. Do you take these two films when you go on a set? Is your mind the same? Because in Sajni Shinde, you're not answerable to anyone. Yes, it's a responsibility ka story again. It's important also. This character has a following. This character is a legend. Mind different होता है दोनों set पे?
When you're playing a historical character, you don't want to go wrong anywhere. That is playing on your mind, definitely.
You can't go wrong.
So you have to address it with that respect, because a person who is not there anymore, you are sketching out their life on celluloid.
Correct.
The person is not there to tell you whether you've done it right or wrong. And this person is not just a person, but has a huge following. She's revered. So you cannot put that reverence into dust. Also, that's the responsibility that you have.
100%.
So I think that definitely makes a difference from a fictional character to a character. Not just this, I would say any character which is based on true life events.
Yeah, if they are alive also.
Yes.
True. Today when a film releases now, what is it like at home? Who gives you honest feedback? Who's allowed to tell you what was good if something was not good?
Everyone's allowed to tell me everything. See, the thing is, तीर कमान से निकल चुका है. अब तो कुछ होने से रहा, right? So everyone's allowed to tell me everything what they feel genuinely. And I'll take all the remarks, be it criticism, be it praise. Praise, thank you. Criticism, okay. Look upon it. Ask yourself whether you could have done better.
Right.
If not, forgive yourself. If yes, remember to do it the next time.
Yeah, that's nice.
So,
that's a good way. What did family say? Because that's the most important feedback anyone wants.
My daughter saw the film on the first cut.
Okay.
So she saw it without the BG. She saw it without the final edit. She saw it without the dubbing. She saw it without the VFX. And she sat through half of the film and she looked around at me and said, "Mom, you have nothing to worry about."
Wow, that is amazing. That's the best feedback one can get, right, from your daughter.
So I kept pestering her. I said, "No, beta, tell me really. I mean, I'm doing a historical. It's after a long time. I shouldn't falter anywhere. If there's something that you feel, please tell me." So. But I guess...
No, of course, I can totally imagine and I know what she means because I've seen it. Has OTT, so many OTT platforms, abhi kya hoga, ye theatre mein release hui hai, then one day it will also come on OTT. This I think it's coming on Netflix. It gets a full new release. It gets a full new audience dekh raha hai ghar pe baith ke. Suddenly that again it's trending on everywhere ki log jaake dekh rahe hain. Has this given a good option to people or has it made people slightly lazy कि हाँ हम जब OTT पे आएगी तब देखेंगे?
दोनों है. I just feel because some stories are meant for the big screen.
Like this.
You have to have the visual impact. You have to have the audio impact for all these films. And this is a medium that is growing. Technology is growing and it gives you a different kind of experience when you go to the theatres to watch a film. And there are some films that need the cozy atmosphere and those are for OTT. The unfortunate part is a lot of films with genuine efforts, genuine scripts which come across, they are told by the OTT platforms कि पहले आप theatre में release करो. Now unfortunately films like those don't get buyers, they don't get finances, they don't even end up getting the kind of actors that they would want to essentially use in those.
And eventually shows भी कम मिलेंगे.
Exactly. So a film fails at the box office and is termed as a failure, though when it releases on OTT,
it has a full new
it's got a new audience, people love it because those are meant for the OTT platform. So I wish there would be that segregation where different kind of stories would also come, where talent can be showed on OTT, especially for the writers, especially for the people who are directing such films.
True. Do you see a difference since OTT has now exploded and there's so much being made? Have offers increased? Do you think it's a given?
I'm still waiting for something that really
excites
me.
you.
Yes,
like,
I am.
क्या अच्छा लगेगा आपको?
It definitely should have an arc that makes difference to the story. So it's not about how lengthy your role is. It's not about how many dialogues. Fiery dialogue, lamba. Nowadays it's that. Where do I get to say that long? One verbose dialogue where everyone sit down and say wah wah wah. No, it's not about that. It's about, in the story, if that character was removed, would the story fall apart?
Yeah, correct.
There's you're a catalyst to the story. I think those roles would really interest me.
Right. I feel शुरू से बहुत maybe कम थे पहले women के लिए रोल, लेकिन बहुत अच्छे रोल थे. I mean, since whether you take Mother India or whether you take मैंने प्यार किया, the actress was as important as the actor. Like, can't imagine मैंने प्यार किया without you. So, but do you think ये offers आज भी कम है? अभी तो हम 2026 में आ गए हैं.
I think the mindset is changing gradually. It's still going to take time because the society is still a very patriarchal society. It is. No matter whether you look around and you see more women on the set, which I'm so happy about.
That's great.
When I started shooting, there would be only your hair Didi would be the lady on the set. Apart from that, everyone was men. But now there are a lot more women on the set. There are women directors, there are women writers, which is excellent. There are women that are going on every field. So it's not just about filmmaking, but it's still slow.
It's still not happening at a speed.
It's still not, because I think the Indian mindset has to change. And that will only happen when our generation teaches the next generation that men and women are equal in their thinking. Every time we talk about men and women being equal, it's more about the physical aspect. For some reason they say, women want to be equal in strength, or the typical feminism, or hum गालियाँ भी दे सकते हैं, drink भी कर सकते हैं, smoke भी कर. That's not it. It's about equal opportunities, equal realization of the dreams, your aspirations, equal struggles.
That's true.
Equal help in the household.
No, that's amazing. What you're saying is right. That also what you said at the start कि आँख हो कैरेक्टर का, like कोई बैठा और ये कैरेक्टर के बारे में सोचा कहाँ शुरू होता है, कहाँ जाता है और कहाँ खत्म होता है. That's what I feel. Very few, आज filmmaker, आज directors भी ले लो female, we can count on our hands how many female directors are there. So what you said is right. I've over a period of time I've interviewed so many from say Madhuri Dixit, Juhi Chawla. Everybody says the same thing, that वो time पे एक फीमेल तुम्हारा टीम मेंबर होता था, या तो मेकअप, या तो हेयर, या तो दैट वन पर्सन हु डज बोथ. What was that set like?
Well, fortunately, I've worked with very nice people.
Yes, so you work with the best people.
I have not had a problem where that is concerned. But yes, I've heard some horror stories. Also, the kind of luxury, I would say, that artists now have of having a separate vanity van, having their entire stuff with them. We didn't have that. We would be knocking on people's doors when we would go outdoors कि एक room देना है, कपड़े change करने हैं. That would be the situation. So sets on that time these were the problems, but on the other hand, it was more a family atmosphere.
100%.
People would sit together, eat together. They would all be sitting together on the set, even between shots. Now, I think once a shot gets over, everyone goes to their individual vanity vans,
gym.
And whatever. I mean, it's you exist as a character on the set, and then you're no longer there.
Yeah, true.
So I guess that's it.
No, there's something amazing to learn from all of you. Like, say, if I just take your film, Surajji is a real person. Like, what a guy, and till date, his character has not changed. If I talk to him today, also, he's exactly
still the same. Yes.
Right. Salman is a real person. You all have done a film, and all have been friends also. You are people who connect with you, and I talk to so many of the common people, and they say that you have also not changed over the years. What was it about that generation that even today? What would be your advice? What should we learn? What should, not me, I'm also old, but what should the younger generation learn?
Be yourself. It's so hard running after an image that you create. Maybe in your mind that this is the person you're supposed to be, or this is the person that other people are supposed to see. So you're constantly trying to build an image and run after an image that is just painted. It's not real.
Right.
So after some time, you're going to give up. You're going to feel tired living up to that image that you've created, that
correct,
pedestal kind of place that you're supposed to be. It's lonely out there.
Yeah.
And it's scary. So it's important to just be you. You don't have to make up anything. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. You could have your problems and your deficiencies, and it's fine.
True.
You're human.
Yeah. True. You got today तो हर Instagram पे हर कोई famous हो जाता है, and बहुत easy है, and हो भी जाते हैं. You got fame very early on, जहाँ that was real fame. Like, people would take your name, and they, if they could find out where you stay, they would come also to take autograph, photograph and all that. आप लोग ने काम किया, फिर आपको fame मिला. ये generation को पहले fame मिल रहा है, फिर वो सोच रहे हैं अब काम क्या करें. So, do you see this around?
Yes, also because they get fame, they get used to it, and the fame doesn't last for so long because there's no patience now. People are wanting everything instant, and the, what's it called? Doom scroll? On a,
right.
Doom
scroll. Yeah.
So, your Instagram reel that used to be probably 60 seconds or 30 seconds, now people don't even want it for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Itna bhi patience nahi hai.
That's true.
So, what works now, 15 seconds later
it's gone.
It's history.
Yeah.
It's literally history.
Yeah. True. What I was coming to was, you got fame so early on. There was no rule book for you. आजकल तो 10 examples ले सकते हैं. आप इसको follow करो. आप अगर skin influencer है तो इसको follow करो. आप actress है तो इसको follow करो. You didn't have too many of these around. You got fame in a very different, organic way. How did it never, nobody, and I can vouch for this, how did it never go to your head? How did you never have that attitude that I'm a film star?
I guess because we all were brought up more grounded. We were not constantly living, again, false lives. It wasn't like you step out of home and you have to be dressed in a certain way. Designer clothes, बाल बराबर से होने चाहिए. पता नहीं कौन कुछ देखेगा, photograph खींचेगा. No, that wasn't it.
That wasn't it.
So you were living real lives. I mean, I can't even imagine ये जो COVID का हुआ. The amount of people that have put up stories of घर में झाड़ू पोता and बर्तन. So what?
It's your house.
Your house. Wouldn't you be doing it? Oh, so and so is
doing bartan,
but you would.
Yeah.
Like, what's the big deal?
Right. That's a.
Or if you're so big, वो आप आपके खुद के बर्तन धोते हैं. Either you get that kind of thing. This all wasn't there. You are living real lives.
Right.
Filmmaking or being an actor was work. You went, did your work, you came back to your real life. So that kept you grounded.
Yeah, that kept you grounded.
That balance of the situation.
Right. Though I'm taking you back, I'm trying not to ask any question that you've been asked 100 times. I don't want to bore you because I know the typical questions are, why did you take a break? What did you do? ये सब हमको पता है, like you said.
Exactly.
But I'm not asking you that. What I'm asking you is, you were all of 19. You also said yes to someone who had never made a film, Surajji. He's a wonderful person. Your co-actor was not the Salman Khan which he is today. What did you say yes to?
Conviction. Because Surajji came to me and first of all, I didn't want to get into films. as everyone knows by now. I've said it 1,000 times. I wanted to go and study. So I found every possible excuse to tell him no. So once, twice, thrice, 7 times over, and he narrated the film with the same amount of passion.
Okay.
And that's what made me say yes.
Okay.
And that's also what I saw in Ritesh.
Yeah, that's...
You know, the way he narrated the script. And I told Ritesh, I said, you know, I can see that conviction in your eyes.
आपको तभी कुछ भी अंदाजा था कि क्या कल्ट फिल्म आप लोग बना रहे हो?
नहीं, बस मुझे ये खुशी थी कि I was enjoying a new craft. And somewhere during the making of मैंने प्यार किया, I think I fell in love with this craft. Because before that I had no intention.
Right, but you had done a TV series before that.
But that was like अच्छा ठीक है, कर लिया. There was no focus that this is where I want to be.
Right. What made you start so young? Because at that age, too, everybody is just doing school, college, and all.
I didn't start it. Again, that came overnight when Amol uncle, Amol Palekar was my neighbor. And the girl that was supposed to play the part ran off with her boyfriend. And they had put up a set. And set in those days were very expensive.
Correct.
And that too for a web show, a TV show. So he came up to me and said, Bhagyashree, can you help me out and can you do this?
Wow.
I said, I've never done anything like this in my life. He said, nahi, kuch nahi. You know me, I know you, I know you'll do it. So come on set. So I was in front of the camera the next day.
Oh, wow.
Literally.
And tell me, because, you were also from a known family, everybody was okay with it?
Because it was Amol uncle, because we were friends,
right.
And so it was just...
Right. So coming to today, you said you're waiting for this role. So many people. Everybody knows you. Like Ritesh ने आपके बारे में सोचा और आपको एक call कर दिया. Is Bhagyashree the person who will hear, if you hear ये film बन रही है, will you pick up the phone and call and say, I want work and I do this?
You know what my problem is? My biggest problem, please, anyone who's hearing it. My biggest problem is there are so many people, I can't place the face and names together. Like names, I know, I know. And then when I meet the person will say, Bhagyashree, just look through me. I'm like, sorry.
I know.
There are just so many people, I can't get it in. That has been my biggest disaster.
I agree.
Honestly,
I relate to that,
And I'm trying to change it. I'm trying so hard to change it. And every time, like, I, tell people around me, just whisper in my ear so I know how. Because I don't want the other person to feel insulted.
Correct.
But this is a genuine problem that I have. And it's not now. It's been over a period of time. And that's happened even with my husband's friends. So, sorry. I've ended up doing that, and that doesn't leave me with a lot of friends. And it's difficult. But coming to your question, would I pick up the phone and ask for work? Why not?
Sure.
क्या होगा maximum? सामने वाला बोलेगा, no, I don't have a role for you.
True.
It's okay.
Yeah. True. Today, audition and everything is a big part of it. Do you a lot of actors from earlier do tell me that I don't want to audition. I know what I can do.
You know what? Honestly, I feel when you audition, I mean, I'm not talking about the newer actors, but when you ask the older actors to audition for a part, I feel the director lacks imagination if you're telling a person to audition. If it's a completely raw person, yes, you need to know. But if you've seen the person elsewhere in some other role, if you can't imagine that this person has the talent or the looks or the ability to transform into your character, then you lack the imagination.
Like Ritesh saw you and he already imagined you, you're saying,
I would say anybody, because an actor is an actor. It's up to the director to convey what he wants to an actor, and an actor is supposed to be like clay who can be molded
into anything. Right.
So if you are saying audition for me, and nowadays, oh my God, like I've had people, not to me, but people have to dress up in the way that they are supposed to play and go. Raj Kapoor ji would have people, I mean, his stars right in the front of camera, and he would have an eye on who was even playing behind, and he didn't need a monitor. He was so good that he could say कि अच्छा तुमने वो जो टोकरी उठानी थी ना वो बराबर से नहीं उठाई.
Wow.
So he had that eye
Yeah.
of a director who could see the if you're making something so huge, you have to have that magnanimity of vision to be able to do that.
Yeah. True. That Another thing that has changed is that everybody needs a lot of agency support, a management agency, a PR agency, a social media agency. Again, is this something that you can balance, or you think?
We are creating jobs.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
So it's lovely. You're reducing the workload on your headspace so that you can concentrate on your art and craft,
Right.
which is fantastic. You have to treat it like that. If you allow that to become your main stream, and you forget focusing on your art and craft and only do PR and management,
Correct.
or मुझे मेरा पूरा staff चाहिए, उनको ये payment चाहिए, ये, if you're concentrating on that rather than what you're playing, then you've lost it as an actor.
Yeah. That's
what I feel.
Yeah, and also I agree with you. And the one
There's a balance that has to be there.
Correct.
Yes.
There has to be a balance.
Yes.
If people see you on Instagram, is it you doing, you posting, you replying, or will it be someone else?
Most of it. 99% it's me.
Oh, that's nice. That's great to know. People would love to hear that, because that's what they want to hear. कि मुझे Bhagyashree ने reply किया, it makes their day even today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is why when people complain, आपने मुझे reply नहीं किया, and I have had those people actually messaging, आप सबको reply करते हो, मुझे ही नहीं करते हो. I'm like, again, either I can focus on my art and craft or look at my Instagram, which I can't be replying to everyone.
Correct. Or you hire those 10 people who will reply to everyone.
But then they are not getting, I'm not connecting with my fans
Exactly,
personally,
yeah.
neither are they getting the honest replies.
Right.
They are getting with someone else who they feel they're speaking to Bhagyashree, but they haven't.
True. What do you see is the biggest difference between your thinking and your daughter's thinking? One thing that so learn from her also. One thing to learn from you also.
At the stage where
Yes,
she is
sure.
and at the stage where I am, I feel a balance of both is required.
Yes.
Your home, your career, everything needs to be balanced out. Within your career, like you just now asked, the PR and the agency out of it, and your art and craft.
Correct.
And that makes you a person, a whole person,
Right.
I think the younger generation is burdened with so much happening that the constant fight to stay relevant or in people's mind is so great that you have to constantly be working at it, which leaves very little time for kind of enriching your own mind, enriching relationships, being with things that truly make you happy. It's like just sitting down and watching a sunset, having a good cup of coffee. And I can switch off and do that. Like,
easily,
like let it be. I don't allow things to affect my mind so much. I think it's not just my daughter, it's the entire younger generation. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
Yeah. There's so much to learn from you, and you were absolutely amazing in Raja Shivaji, and I will watch the Marathi one also, I promise you.
That.
And please keep doing these parts, and please keep coming back in these roles. These are both, all the roles that I talk about, these are really roles that, that one remembers. That's the important.
I'm so happy that you said that. I would hope that by the time my life ends, I would have a nice trajectory going there, and each role is more memorable than the other.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So nice speaking to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bhagyashree, and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.